In the novel Red Dragon, Special Agent
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos, and this is Wolfbrother Hobbies. Welcome to the Friday night show. Hope you guys are doing well. And me tonight, I'm doing well. I've made some good painting progress over the last week. It is starting to feel less like an impossibility for me to have this army ready. And while I still feel a little pressured because I still have a lot to get done, yeah, I'm managing it now. I feel like I've got a good chance of getting everything ready for the upcoming convention. Good evening, Charles. I hope you're doing well. I was just thinking of you earlier because tomorrow I've got a whole day of playing. Okay, not a whole day, but tomorrow night we've got a huge Yu-Gi-Oh party going on because it's my uh, tomorrow's going to be the birthday dinner for my brother, Darklight Dreamer, and as part of his birthday, he really just wanted at first like a small. We called it dinner and dueling event. So go out to dinner together for him, and a few of us come back and have some duels for Yu-Gi-Oh, and we're up to now. I think six of us that'll be dueling. I've got a 6x4 table over here on foldable legs. I can take over to my buddy's house, which is just, he lives like in just the neighborhood next door. And so we're all going to go out to dinner. It's a bit of a drive. It's like an almost an hour long drive to get some hot pots, which is going to be delicious. And yeah, after we get some hot pot, we're going early at early evening, so we can all come back and play some cards into the night, and it's going to be fun. And normally, it's kind of we get some of the same duels over and over again. Because usually I'm playing with either Darklight and Atlas, or I'm playing with Kane and Roxas. But in addition to those two, well, first of all, we're going to have both of those groups together. And in addition, my beautiful wife has two of her decks ready to go that she's touched up and updated. Well, one of them is touched up and updated, and one of them has just been kicking ass since we played before. It's a remove from play deck, and just the natural style of the deck tends to shut a lot of decks down because it keeps people from interacting with their graveyards. So it's a remove from play deck, which is really cool. And so, between combining the two dueling groups that are normally separate from each other, and also including my wife, it's going to be really cool to have, all of us together in one room, just swapping around and having people to play cards with, and people getting to see decks that they don't normally get to interact with. It's just going to be cool. This week I've been deep into painting minis. I have a good mini game setting up. I have new mini games setting up orcs, goblins, humans, and elves. Nice. That sounds like fun, my friend. I know you've been painting up a storm. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Let us know your progress, my friend. Also, man, it's just the sheer amount of minis you had in your update YouTube short showing how much you've gotten assembled and ready to go, and how much you got primed and stuff like that. Man, you work in volume, that's for sure. That's awesome. I love seeing that kind of progress. Me, I'm like, hey guys, I got half of a mini painted this week. But I did finally. This took me about 2 weeks. Not as bad as I expected. Uh, but I did put up my little showcase on YouTube Shorts this week. I finally got this baby all painted up and did my little spinny spin video. I also put some pictures up on the Instagrams. So yeah, I'm super duper pleased with the way this came out. Because it's my first time doing something up as gritty and grimed up as, like all of my Custodes army is all grimed up with layers of black enamel wash and streaking grime. So I usually do two processes of dirtying it down and then cleaning it away with a paper towel, or a shop towel is what I've been using because they leave less fuzzies than paper towels do. But yeah, so grimed it down 2 layers, and actually it came out better than I thought. And I was really, because like, okay, on the miniatures, I've been pleasantly surprised on like the infantry, how well you can see the highlights and stuff after I oil wash it and then clean it back up. And it's hard to tell here, but I actually did, started from a really dark blue color, and there's 3 layers of highlight here, and it's I'm so glad that you can actually see some of the highlight come through underneath all that grime and stuff like that. My reasoning before for not really weathering or griming things down in the past has been like, man, if I spend all the time with the airbrush putting in the perfect highlights I want, what if it doesn't show up after, dirtying it down? But I'm really pleasantly surprised to see that a good bit of the highlights have stuck around. And then, of course, I love doing my heat bloom effect on the barrels. And being that this whole top piece is just kind of a long piece of gunmetal silver, I wanted to add some spot colors. So in the little part that generates the laser beams, I think back here, these little tanks, I was like, well, let's make those glow with like the energy that might be, fueling these laser cannons, the Arachno storm cannons. And then in the front, I wanted to do the heat bloom, and I think between the bright color at the back and the heat bloom at the front, I think it's done a really good job taking a long, possibly boring piece of silver and adding color and dimension to it. So I'm really pleased with that. So got the tank done this week, and my Terminators are, I think, a good, I don't know, maybe 70% done. I've got the bright colors in them done. I think they are ready for the oil wash and then clean up, and then finally, after all of that, the power weapon effects on the axes, which will be for all of my Custodes, they've been getting the purple pink power weapon treatment. I realized, if you'll excuse me one moment, my friend, I realized I never shared this video around anywhere. So I hate to be that unprofessional guy who's doing all the typing and stuff like that after a stream is already going, but I'm just going to take a second to share this stuff around. So in addition to setting up that really awesome games with the orcs, goblins, humans, and elves, my friend, how was your week? Hope it went well. New videos. The Bookface. We'll share it on Bookface as well. Okay, now that we shared on Discord, we can go ahead and close Discord. And paste this from our description. Why are you not populating the quick link to the Facebook page? Well, you know what? That's just going to have to be a problem for another time. We'll post here. We'll check on chat. Hellworks, my brother, in the thick of it. Oh, is it the storm getting worse over there? Make sure you're being careful, brother. Did a couple of turns of Worthington's book games, Coral Sea. After 3 turns, it looks like I'm going to lose the Yorktown to the Japanese. I'm not doing very well. The Worthington's book games are made for solitaire playing mostly. Oh, okay. Man, after watching Mini Warzone Pete, I've been real interested seeing gameplay on some of those solo wargaming adventures. So we'll switch over to Wolfbrother Hobbies. Okay, well, at least on my page it populated the quick link. All right, we are shared around. We will now turn off the book face. And we'll come right back over here. Cats and dogs would be light compared to this. Oh, man. It's so crazy. I'm just a few hours away, and you know, like it's overcast, and it looks like a storm's a brewing over here, but it's almost nothing here. Knock on wood. I don't want any heavy storms, especially with such a big day planned tomorrow for Razzie, our Dark Light Dreamer friend. So I would like his big day to run smoothly. So, today, I'm showing you my progress, which I just got done showing off. We'll go back over that in a minute, and then we'll take a look at what's next after I finish these Terminators, and that is 6 of these bad boys, the Custodes jet bikes, also known as the Vertisprators. Now, full disclosure, these are all a second-hand lot, right? And they were all built and not painted. Some of them, like the first or the second set here, was completely unpainted. The other set came half primed. They were like, okay, so funnily enough, the bikes seem to have been primed black, and the riders seem to be completely unprimed, which, you know, if they were going to, I guess at some point they had decided they were going to sub-assemble them, and then I guess when they decided to sell them off, they glued the riders to the bikes. So now what I have here is 3 bikes that were like were half primed and half unprimed, but that's okay. I'm no stranger to applying primer by brush, I can just go in there and dab some my Monument Hobbies primer, just brush it on, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so I've got 6 of these, and then one of the ones that was half primed, I've already gotten a start putting down some of the gold, and you can see that this was just a quick blast with the airbrush of just blasting my gold all over. And I was kind of in a rush. I ended up missing the whole back here of the back of the bike to put down the gold. And then I'm going to, as my Custodes, as you can see, are two-tone, blue and gold, which I'm basing off of an 80s kids show called Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. So what I'm going to end up doing is just my speed plan here has been going in first and blasting, airbrushing gold, which is what I did with my tank, and then finding select areas to make blue. So it'll probably be here, the pants, the sleeves, and now on the rest of my Custodes, you can see I did the inner body, right? The chest piece, aside from areas that seem like the eagle symbol in the middle, or some of them have like a little mantle that looks like. I'll leave those parts gold. Or like here in these Terminators, the hood is kind of the hood has like the Aquila shape designed right into the hood. So, things like that, I'll make the main body gold, but for the most part, my torsos are all, blue. Now, because the original owners went ahead and glued, if I had sub-assembled this, I probably would still do the chests blue. But since, these are secondhand and they're already glued together, I think I'm just going to take a few select places like the pants, the sleeves, and, parts of the shoulder pauldrons and make those blue. And I'm still debating on what I'm going to do blue for the bike itself. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do these top flat panels here. We'll do those blue. And I think especially once I do the highlights and then the streak and grime, and I think that those flat panels will be a nice place to kind of get this kind of multi-tone grungy effect here. So that's the plan there, is do that on top. And I don't know if that breaks up the gold enough. The other thing I'm considering is making the eagle on the front, leave that gold, and then all the body underneath the gold to really make that golden eagle pop. I think I'm going to do that in blue as well. So that way, it's very clear, that symbol of the golden eagle, on the front of the bike. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then for the rear, I think there's going to be the fin, and then this back armor, I think we'll leave, just the back panels gold as well. And then, of course, there'll be like some metallic parts with the under chassis, the exhaust here, or the afterburner, the exhaust. Yeah, I think all that can be silver. And then we'll just leave like the fins and the top armor plate. We'll do that in gold. I think we'll just have the blue up front as far as the bike goes. What do you guys think? I think that's my plan. Gamers with Coffee. It is Greg and Ashley, two amazing gamers with which I played a fantastic round of Zombicide last week. Them and of course Brian from Mini Warmut. And man, it went on a hot minute. I think we went on for like 3.5 hours or something like that. And it was a fun game. And man, we did not well, actually, you know what? It didn't go the way we intended it to, but we all had fun. I definitely recommend checking out one of our VODs. It's posted on all 3 of our channels. Gamers with Coffee, Mini Warmut. You can check out their links down in the link tree below. The Friends of the Frosted Fists. And Yeah, it was a really fun game. All like I said, it's posted up on all three channels. Gamers with Coffee has this really cool multi-stream feature when they use Streamlabs, and they can invite us on and yeah, let us be part of whatever it is that they're streaming. And so we all got to stream it concurrently, which was fun. So that is the game plan, and with that, that will take me up to my complete 2,000 point list. Um, I do have because we're supposed to have 3,000 points, and even if I throw in my most expensive night, the Atropos night, that still only brings me up to 2,500, which I'm kind of fine calling it there. But it is also a team event, and I don't want to lag behind too much for the last day. Um, and because I'm already taking the Inquisitor, which actually, maybe that day I won't take the Inquisitor and I'll just take another knight instead. That actually might be a good idea. Because the last day, everybody tends to bring in like their hardcore stuff. Their knights, their a couple of the last time there was like 3 Warhound Titans. There was a Knight Porphyrion, which is the largest class of knight. It was crazy, but it was amazing. But it was crazy, and so now, surprisingly, like the troops on the ground, still put in a lot of work. Like they still served a purpose. But man, when you're looking at Titans walking around and the biggest knights, it's like, oh my gosh. So having a one character in a squad may not matter as much actually. So maybe I will reconfigure my list to bring the Atropos and a couple of knights. But anyways, as I was saying, having only one anti-tank in the whole list, especially after testing it last week, I'm going to get into talking about that a little bit. And I suppose I should send myself those pictures. So that way I can show you guys a little bit of the battle. But it showed me that having only one ranged anti-tank, which I was already worried is kind of a weakness in my list. And yeah, I definitely felt it because turn 1, it got blown out of the sky. Very nice, very nice. It's funny because I was going to be looking through Google for some inspiration picks. And yeah, in addition to doing that, we're going to take a look at Thomas's. Thomas sent me his for inspiration as well. You could always go a little darker in your bikers. While dark does look good, I still want them to match the rest of the army. Darklight Dreamer, my brother, it is the birthday boy himself who we will be celebrating, Manana. And we're looking for an awesome week, awesome night tomorrow of dinner and dueling. It's going to be awesome. I have 15 millimeters to paint 30 ancient Persian spearmen, 50 ancient African natives, 26 goblins, goblin wolf riders, and 10 giants and trolls. Holy crap, that is a huge lot of miniatures to paint. Oh yes, it's me, the late birthday boy. We also hung out with some family last night. So our younger brothers and 2 of my cousins threw him a big birthday dinner last night at my cousin's house. Just a family get together, and that was so good to see everyone. Yeah, it was really great just chilling with family. Also, my cousin and I have long played for many years now. Oh my gosh, it's been probably a good 10, 11, maybe 12 years now. my cousin and I both play the same archetype in Magic the Gathering. We both play mono green land dragons. Now, that's still like one of her go-to decks, although now, she's like a Magic the Gathering guru, and she plays basically like 20 different decks now, and she's super good. She's like constantly mythic tier in Magic the Gathering online, and she's just super knowledgeable, and she's good at every deck. But one of her pet decks is still, mono green land dragons, or as often hydras, but there's often some things that can go with that in addition to being hydras. And so while I was at her place last night, she shared with me a couple of her deck lists. Or actually, she screenshot them. She still hasn't sent them to me yet. I'll have to hit her up. But yeah, she's just super super good, and it was kind of nice, learning some skills from a really mythic tier, mono green land dragon player. Hey there, Mythos. I hope I'm not too late. You're not too late at all, my Inquisitor friend. I hope you're doing well. We're just giving a shout out and some birthday love to my brother Darklight Dreamer there. And I affectionately and I mean it from the bottom of my heart when I call all of my friends brothers, because I do think of y'all as family. But Darklight Dreamer there is my actual brother from the very same mother. Tomorrow we're doing a great big dinner and dueling kind of hot pot, Korean hot pot at Yu-Gi-Oh event tomorrow night. So we're all in the, late afternoon, early evening, going out for an early dinner, getting some hot pot, and then we've got hours of Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay with like 6 duelists. I've got my 6x4 table. We're going to pack up and take over to my brother Roxas's. And yeah, we're just going to get a bunch of duels, just gaming with people. And what's really cool is that I have normally 2 different groups of duelists in my friend group. I have Atlas and Raz that I play regularly, or Atlas and Darklight Dreamer that I play regularly. And then also my brothers Kane and Roxas that I play frequently. But just because of like work and scheduling and logistics, normally the 2 groups don't get together. But as we've all taken, well, most of us have taken the night off for Darklight's birthday. We're actually having one great big dueling session. So there's going to be 6 of us. Both of the groups are going to mesh. And then on top of that, my wife recently has 2 of her decks ready to go. So she's finally ready to sit down and play as well. So it's going to be cool. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. Let's see. Chilling with good people. Oh man, me too, brother. Me too. Nope, can't say happy birthday until tomorrow. But I can't wait to see you tomorrow, Razzie. Good to see you, Atlas, my brother. If she likes a game, if she likes a game, she's N tier. That's that kind of inborn talent. Oh yes, our cousin, in Thai, we're. I mention all the time that we're an Asian family. Specifically, we're Thai, and then after Thai, we've got kind of a split, but like there's like some Indian and some Chinese in there, and then a little bit of Japanese, but mostly Thai. And anyways, in Thai, her name is Duong Dao, and she's just anything she applies herself to, especially in games, if she's decided, I'm going to play this, I'm going to be good at it, boom. She's like competitively good, like, like outright tournament player level good at anything she touches. I'm kind of jealous, I always I always lovingly complain about people who could just naturally be good at everything. And I jokingly say naturally because, a lot of times people do put in like a lot of hard work and dedication. But man, some people just seem more apt to certain skill sets than other people. I always lovingly complain about my brother Cloud. Cloud is another one who just like, if he's like, I think I'm going to try this out, boom, he's good at it. I've never seen him apply himself to something and just not be good at it. It's very jealous making. But you know what? I've already planned my next tattoo because sometimes I have a inferiority complexes. And I want to get a quote on the inside of my forearm where I can see it and it remind me all the time. I don't remember where the quote comes from, but it's that comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that is something that would help me in gaming, in painting, really all aspects of my life. It's a quote I want to get tattooed on my arm, and I kind of want at bookends. I kind of would like the head of blue eyes on one side and the head of red eyes on the other. That would be cool. Oh, it's Korean barbecue, not hot pot. My bad. But still delicious, and it comes with all you can eat options. And you guys know your Wolf Brother's been on a carnivore keto diet for a long time, and any place that I can get all you can eat meats, I'm gonna. It's time to duel. I may be more of an older. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to say that word. Curmudgeon uncle. What is a curmudgeon uncle? Now I have to Google this. I'm not supposed to be showing you guys online how illiterate I am. Bad-tempered. Bad-tempered and especially old. No, Charles. No. If I disappear now and then, I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm replaying the Shadowbringers MSQ. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've been taking an extended break for like 8 months now. But I am a lover of Final Fantasy XIV and its storyline. So yeah, I'm super excited to hear you doing that. I've loved all of the story so far, except this latest expansion I haven't delved into. But Shadowbringers was in fact amazing, and then Endwalker just. I have a Twitch channel out there called Wolfbrother Gaming, where I played a bunch of it, but it looks terrible because my graphics card was not up to the task of streaming all the visual effects that happen in 14 during battles. But yeah, I love freaking Final Fantasy 14. Even though I'm not currently playing it, I know I have to see my friends watch the show, and my friends are also my guildmates. And I put myself on an extended leave from the game, and so I know every time I mention that I love the game, my friends will call me out, and so I must clarify that even though I'm not playing now, I do love the game and the story. One can always make up with a lack of innate talent with hard work and dedication, but it must be nice to not have to. Exactly, my brother. That's why I love to just affectionately say, "Damn it, Cloud." Oh, I am jealous of his natural talent. Words are hard. They are. Shadowbringers was amazing. I agree. Maybe just grumpy. Got my PSVR 2 hooked up and spent way too much money on games, but that's because I saved $100. Nice. PSVR 2, that's great. Oh man, I'm excited to see maybe some dark light. Well, actually, you don't have a computer to add on at the moment. I'm looking forward to maybe going over and stealing your PSVR headset next time we hang out. Was going to do another short video on another deck, but I couldn't remember which 2 decks I've posted, and I just haven't gone through my videos to check. I have no computer, sad face. I am sad face too, brother. I want you to be able to get your computer back whenever you can. Okay. Deck videos. Like, I have been loving your deck videos, Charles, and I keep meaning to start doing deck videos of my own, but I was so focused on painting this week And I've made some good progress. I only had like 2 people at the top of the hour, so I'm just going to quickly recap. As many of you saw, we did a little showcase on YouTube Shorts for my completed tank. And so I knocked this out faster than I expected to, which I'm super duper pleased about. This is definitely a piece I need for the upcoming convention. We have gotten the Terminators, of which we have 3, about 60% done. They're ready for their streak and grime, so I can dirty them all down and then wipe away the excess and start with some of the highlights like on their cloaks and such. And then the energy effects on their spears. But before I can do all that, the only reason I'm not painting that tonight is because I need to break out the airbrush and give them all a quick gloss varnish with the airbrush, just so that way I have less staining from the oil wash or the streak and grime and oil wash. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then of course, next project, I have 6 of these Custodes jet bikes. I did buy them all secondhand, so they are assembled and unpainted, and some of them are missing bits like lance arms and stuff like that. Some of them were had like broken spear tips and stuff like that, but that's okay. When I bought them, they were um, as is, right? Unfortunately, they're all equipped with the hurricane bolters, which is the less good of their weapon options. But again, that's fine. It's part of the sacrifice we make when we buy, used minis. And then, of course, so that first set was 3 of them assembled and unpainted. This second set here was weirdly assembled, and the bike is primed, but the riders are not primed. I'm assuming that the owner was going to sub-assembly paint these, and that's why the riders were separate. And then I guess when they decided to sell them on eBay, they just went ahead and glued them together. But that's no big deal because I'm used to brush-on priming, so that'll be fine. And I did start with one of the ones that were half primed. Just kind of start blasting it with the airbrush to get the golds down. And I was just kind of talking with chat earlier about, the potential color scheme to make all of this. So yeah, that is the plan. And after I finish those Terminators, like I said, they're nearly done. 6 bikes are all I technically need for the convention. Although I do have another grav tank curing in the kitchen right now. So yeah, that's why I shared. Yes, and like I said, we're going to start with yours, and then we'll do some Googling. Let's see. Tank looks great. Thank you so much, brother. The Wolves reveal. Oh, yes. Why? I was like, man, I think there's no news for me to show this week. There is news. The Wolves reveal. I'm super excited about the Wolves. Oddly enough, I know this is going to be funny coming from the Wolf Brother. I am super hyped for the Wolves reveal. I don't think I'm going to be getting the box set. Now, hear me out. I know my reputation as the Wolf Brother is, going to be put into question, but like, I have assault intercessors for first of all, I have my Wolves army is my biggest army by far, right? So I already have a ton of minis for it. It's taking up 3 full shelves right now, and I'm out of space. And like right now, not only are they taking up 3 full shelves, I have Thunder Wolves just kind of stacked on other minis at the moment. Like, I'm literally running out of space for my Space Wolves. And they look great, but like, I'm so glad. It is so cool to see. I was honestly just expecting upgrade sprues for. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. That is so unprofessional. Let me please mute this. My apologies. Um, But yeah, I was really expecting just upgrade sprues for the Blood Claws and the Grey Hunters, but they did full kits for them, which is incredible. However, man, I've got a ton of intercessors and assault intercessors for my wolves. So, like, while it's really awesome and flavorful that they have these things, I don't necessarily need those as an army roll right now, and I am literally running out of space for my wolves. What I do want out of the box, though, the head takers and that battle leader both look amazing. And I love that the head takers can take Fenrisian wolves. Although, like, I have 15 Fenrisian wolves, I don't necessarily need more, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, it is so cool, and I would really love to have like the head taker and the battle leader. But I think I'm going to pass on the box because I just don't think I really have the. I mean, I could dedicate to it if I wanted to, but it would. I'm not in a place that I'm ready to dedicate the 200 plus for the box. When it comes out in just a couple months. So while it would be cool, I think I'm going to pass. Just for now. Now, when the head takers and the battle leader come out separately, I probably will. Or, hear me out, when people start putting up the boxes on eBay, as they always do, I might just see if I can get, unit of the head takers here, the battle leader here. For some reason, people always sell the characters that come with these box sets for a decent, relatively cheap price after everything gets split up. It's usually like the units are a decent amount, but for some reason the solo characters you can usually snag pretty cheap. And so I'm going to try and do that, get that cool new battle leader and maybe a couple of the head takers. Those Space Wolves do look so damn good. I agree. I want the stuff forthcoming. While I agree with you, we don't technically know yet, and I don't want to get myself hyped ahead of time because I don't want to be disappointed later. So I'm just going to allow myself to be surprised when that stuff gets announced, or if that stuff gets announced. I want those new Thousand Sun robots. Ah, yes. It's funny because I have a Facebook Messenger group for myself and a few of my Warhammer friends. And I also have a Discord for myself with a couple of my Warhammer friends. The Nightbot keeps linking to the Discord. And like I said, both of those chats we were all chatting just quickly for a while on those new Thousand Sun robots. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts either in the chat or in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Thousand Suns robots. I think they look really cool, but the paint job, or maybe the color scheme is a better way of putting it. Oni in the Discord did kind of, point out that, well, technically the paint job is correct or, skillful. So it may be a faux pas to say that the paint job didn't do any favors. Maybe the color scheme and paint choices didn't do it any favors. Because I feel like there was a lot of brown on bone colors and just made it look almost incomplete. I could definitely see where, yeah, they looked a bit bland, and I really feel like they didn't have to. So yeah, but the models themselves, I think if we were to see the bare plastic, so that way we could all interpret how we wanted to paint it, I think they would look a lot better. Sometimes. Darklight brings out a great point. It's allowed to be both correct and bad. So from an artistic standpoint, the miniatures were painted very correctly and skillfully, but they didn't. The end result it wasn't that they ended up looking good. So I think that is aptly put, Darklight. Models look great, but they made bad choice of paints. Okay, lots of agreement there. Lots of agreements. I plan on multiple as I want the heads for kit bashes. Very cool. They're going to look great as wreckage on my base. I want to get some of those Thousand Sun robots so I can break them up. Yeah, one day one day for like an Imperial Knight army, or well, I've already got my Imperial Knight army pretty much done, close to being done. But like for either an Imperial Knight or maybe one day, a Warhound, heaven forbid. I almost want to take out. Uh, I'm. I mean, kit bashing, right? Exactly, exactly. I want to take out a Riptide. Not my brother Roxas's, just some unknown Riptide. Okay. That doesn't belong to anybody in particular. Maybe it's one I purchased already painted up. Maybe I even painted up for the purpose of this. But I would love to take a Riptide out somewhere and just explode it with fireworks. I just feel like that would be a great way to get some actually blown up debris for my bases for doing like a Knight Castellan or a Porphyrion or a Titan. I think that'd be cool. Some unknown Riptide, which is coincidentally is painted the same as Roxas. No, 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 no. Honestly, the ones that traumatize me the most are clouds, and clouds were still plastic colored. They weren't painted yet back then, so those traumatize me the most. A triple Riptide list, and one of them was just a blink base. The horror, the horror. Oh man! All right, research. And this is my third time saying research, and I've been distracted every time. So it's just a base IC deal? Well, okay, I'm done. Aren't you going to paint those bits? Everything else on the base, everything else on the base is painted? No. Yep, just blow up an unpainted Riptide and put it on the base while the rest of the base is painted. Knight's painted. All right, we are going to swap over to the articles and art page. We are going to choose the window for Messenger, and we are going to start off by taking a look at Brother Thomas's Custodes. So you can see here, Brother Thomas has a pretty neat black and purple theme to his Custodes, and much like you guys see on a lot of my work, he does the dark purple to mid purple to kind of like a magenta fuchsia pink highlight. So I'm very on brand with this paint style and this highlight, and it really pops against the black armor. It looks great. And I would take his suggestion, but I do want it to match the rest of my army, which is already blue and gold. But it does look amazing, and I'm really, really pleased with it. He broke it. I didn't break it this time. I was just zooming in on your awesome looking Custodes, my brother. So what deck would you like to see? Another one like the Rabbit or Koala, or maybe a Dragon deck? I gotta say, I'm a big fan of dragons. But koalas are also cute. And also, in the anime, there was a character in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that had a full koala deck, which I thought was pretty cute. So I'm honestly down for either of them. I am very partial to dragons, though. All right, so we took a look at Brother Thomas's Custodes, which look awesome. Also, one thing I'm especially taking a note of is I'm trying to decide how to paint my power lances for the jet bikes, and here I see that they have kept the majority of the lance and the shaft black, and just the head of the spear glows. Very cool. Now, I'm going to have to take a look because I think I've seen somewhere their armor color is gold, but they still keep the shaft black. Wow, this is getting so sexual. Okay. Ooh, now there's a lot of contrast here. Okay, that's like a kind of a Space Wolves blue-gray that they've got for their armor color here. That is interesting. This is an artwork, obviously. I wonder if this is like a in codex artwork. That's pretty cool looking though. Man, actually, that looks so sharp. Almost makes me wish I'd gone with Space Wolves, blue gray. Purple, black, and iron, Hellchild says. Very cool. All right, looking at the official artwork here, we've got. They've gone in extra on the leather look with the gauntlets and greaves here. Okay, so that actually them doing the showing so much of the boot kind of really gives this a kind of a decent amount of brown color mixed in on this bike. I definitely don't think I'm going to go lean that much into the browns. But we see solid gold for the bike with some silvery bits underneath. And we see that the lance here is black shaft with the energy effects on at just the head. Okay. That's the official artwork. We'll set that as the standard. Obviously, I tend to veer away from official artwork, but okay, this one looks like a metal color. So maybe like your Ironbreaker or Lead Belcher for the shaft of the lance, and then just the spearhead. Again, really nice energy effects. All right, here's the 30K jet bikes, which I like. And okay, there's one in the other here. So on the 30K bike, they've gone for gold color, kind of matches the armor color, and then just energy effect on the spear tip. And then on the 40K one, they've got kind of the whole, black spear shaft, and then energy effect on the spear tip. Oh, this is kind of the color scheme. I mean, here if you invert the gold and the blue parts, it's kind of the color scheme I'm going for. If I had the 30K bikes, the smooth panels here are so similar to the tank panels, I think I'd be pretty comfortable knowing exactly where I'd highlight. But that's not what we're doing here today. It is worth noting, though, they've got the same kind of lead belcher and then heat bloom, or a heat effect on the spear tip. Okay, and this one they've gone straight silver or lead belcher for the whole spear, and just a flicker of the energy running down the blade. That's an interesting one. With the font here and kind of the colors, is this Miniac? Kind of wondering if that's Miniac. All right. Ah, this one's very White Scars like, with the white, the gold, and the red. I appreciate you guys hanging with me while I do some research here, because I'm trying to figure out how I want to paint this and make it stand out. Again, very nice color scheme for a 30K style one. Maybe I should grab a couple of these 30K bikes to differentiate my captains and my regular bikes. That is a problem for future Mythos, though, because there'd be no way I could get in the 30K bikes in time for this convention. Ah, looks like a Blood Angels kit bash here. That's pretty cool. All right, black shaft. Spearhead is electrified. Okay, okay. So this is kind of similar to what I was thinking. They've got the blue on the top of the bike, much like I was thinking. Although they've gone for a three-tone scheme here, so they've got white to break up these panels here. And then they tie together the blue here and blue here. So whereas my blue would be kind of rounded around the center, they've got kind of the triangle thing going on here. They say that if you can make a triangle with your secondary color, it catches the eye better. I don't know how I feel about the blue wings, though. I feel like the wings should stay a metallic color. Because you want your wings to stay on when you're flying, right? That's from the horsehair. Oh, okay. I asked a few minutes ago, but then for some reason stopped reading the chat. That artwork I was looking at earlier is from the Horse Heresy art book. Nice. The blue and gold looks nice. I agree. I really like this a lot. And like I want to just have my eagle, like, a golden hood ornament here. Whereas the standard color scheme, it's like all gold, and the eagle doesn't really stand out. I like how the eagle stands out here. I think I'm going to reverse this. I think I'm going to do this part blue, this part gold, leave all that the same. But then I think these white parts here I'm going to do back in the blue, and I'm going to make the wings gold, because I want to leave that metallic look on the wings. And I know logically, you could just print the 30K jet bikes. I mean, that's true. Especially since, several of these don't have any... several of these bikes don't have any primer on them at all. That's quite possible, my friend. That would look cool. Thank you. Thank you, Gamers with the Coffee. Okay, so... none of these are exactly what I'm looking for, but that's okay, because like I said, we're doing a unique color scheme. But I think we have enough here that I'm able to make an informed decision about what I'm going to paint, how I'm going to paint mine. So I appreciate you guys joining me while we do a little research. Ooh, man, I really felt like my blue and purple was striking, but look at that. I mean, my blue and gold was striking. Look at that purple and gold. That's almost royal looking and majestic, isn't it? Oh, and look at that sweet energy effect just gleaming down the middle. Okay, that's really cool. We're going to save this. Y'all ignore all the prawns here. Custodes, jet bike, inspiration. Man, that looks sweet and majestic. Okay, we're going to check this out on Reddit, because I think this looks so good that I need to give credit to whoever painted this. Richard Smith, one of the best people that I know across the sea. It is Richard Smith. Big loves to you, my brother. Man, I know you are on the verge of falling asleep, brother. I hope you sleep well tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have an amazing weekend, my brother. View post. Okay. This is by Baseline Addict on the Warhammer 40K subreddit. In case anybody is a big Reddit fan and would like to check them out. Yeah, Baseline Addict. This was done 2 years ago, and this is honestly the best Custodes bike I've seen of the night. this one takes home the prize for the night. I don't know what the prize is, but man, they would take it. Oh my gosh, not only does everything look amazing, look at that face, but oh, you guys know what I love to see besides an energy effect? It's a heat bloom. Look at that. It is a bright and beautiful heat bloom. Oh man, oh, a close up of the heat bloom too. This person's a legend. Absolute legend. All right, they win for tonight. I don't know what they win, but they win. I may be biased, but I like what I like. All right. Do we have any hardcore Redditors out here? I gotta say, I very seldom use Reddit, but once in a while when I'm doing research for, like paint schemes and stuff like this, I'll come across something that will make me visit Reddit. I'm signed up to a couple of Reddits, like Markiplier's Distractable Reddit, um, and I never go on there. Like, I don't even know why I made an account or, you know, uh, uh, joined the Distractable subreddit because I never go on Reddit. It is very, very seldom. I'll go on there for like something specific. Although my wife loves the Reddit. That is the homepage. That is not what I was watching on Hulu. Oh no. That is on the homepage. Oh, I'm just going to scroll down here. How do I keep managing to get myself in trouble with this share screen stuff? Look, look. Continue watching 911 and 24. Okay, that's what I was watching. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Now, Chad, it looks like I've turned a little pink. Sure it wasn't. No, I showed you my history. I showed you my history. uh, wow, that was unlucky. Oh, I'm turning as pink as my logo. Oh, anyways. All right. So now we got a plan for the color scheme. And even I've got the turret for, oh, I told you guys I had a second tank curing. Oh, this one could maybe use either a little more alcohol or a little more curing time because got the turret that I printed for it. Right now it's the body that's curing. Although it still feels slightly greasy, so I might need to let it cure some more. The only problem is that when I printed everything out in one piece for the first tank, it was hollowed, and it all came out in one piece, which is great. I printed it in two halves this time because the first one, it's lost a couple of details that really don't matter a whole lot now that I've painted it up, but like the front bumper here, there's a little loss of detail up at the front here, which is fine. I sanded it down and kind of smoothed it out, and it's barely noticeable. In the grill here, there's like some bumpy spots and divots because what had happened is that when you put something on the print bed, whatever is facing up has the more crisp detail, and whatever is facing the print bed has a little less detail. And so typically you want the top of whatever it is you're printing to be face up, right? And so that way it's usually like the undercarriage of your miniatures and stuff like that that's got any defects or lessening of detail. Well, this time there was the option to print it as a whole piece, which I did before, and it was hollowed out. And then this time I printed it as a front half and back half, which was another option. So that way the front half and the back half could both be, tilted up. And that worked. The detail on both the front half and the back half came out beautiful. But man, it's twice as heavy as this one because it printed as 2 solid bricks. It is it's not hollowed out on the inside, so it's just like I've had it curing in front of the curing light for like a whole day now because I just want to be sure that it's going to be solid, not wet on the inside. But holy crap! And same here. Like I said, this one still feels kind of. The turret came out beautifully, but this one also printed as a solid chunk, and so it still feels a little oily. I might just need to wipe it down with some more alcohol, but just in case, I might toss it in front of the UV lamp for a few minutes. But overall, I'm really pleased with the way that printing them has come out. All right. We are closing in on 10 o'clock, guys. That is my plan to get this army tournament ready. Finishing. And because I need, like, normally I paint at, my own pace. And I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to try and knock this out by the next time I see you next Friday. We'll see what happens. And, I might get busy at work or yada, yada, yada. But I'm on a time crunch now because it is only a few weeks away from the event. We are now in April. The event is the 26th and 7th, I want to say. And so we are looking at just over 20 days away that I need to get all of this stuff painted up and tournament ready. Or not tournament, but event ready. And so we're going to buckle down. So it is, you guys are going to keep me honest, right? So it's my vow to you guys that I'm going to have these 3 Terminators complete by next Friday when I see you guys. And there will be at least a start to all 6 of these bikes. Like here. And I will have them all not only primed, but I will have them primed and the gold sprayed on them. And I hope to have a start, at least, to putting down the blues on them. So that's my vow to you guys. I will have done some work by the next time I see you. One of the few things I am worried about is that because these were all bought in as-is condition, 2 of these guys have their helmets. Like, I replaced the lances. I have not been able to find replacement helmets for all of these guys. And that worries me a little bit. But you know what? I can maybe find some other helmets that'll work just as well. But Custodes helmets, man, are not as easy to find as the others. And trying to print... well, I got to go do an overtime tomorrow. I got to get some sleep. We were just about to close out, my brother. You're not missing much. You have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for hanging tonight. But yeah, not a lot of Custodes printable helmets that I've seen so far look the part correctly. So I'm going to need to see what I can do to find some suitable helmets. And yeah, if you guys have any file recommendations for helmets that maybe they're not necessarily Custodes helmets, but maybe they look like they would work well with Custodes, hit me up. I've got a night style helmet that might work well with them, but I'm gonna take a look. But anyways, appreciate you guys joining me tonight, and kind of doing some tournament talk, some Yu-Gi-Oh talk with me tonight. Not tournament, narrative campaign talk, and some Yu-Gi-Oh talk with me tonight. If you guys liked tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash the like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop me some comments down below. Feel free to be part of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to my friends of the Frost and Fists in the link tree below, and if you're not subscribed to this guy, then man, we would all love to have you as part of the pack, part of the hobby family here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.